Welcome to Yeadon Community News, your independent source for Yeadon Community News. The March 1st, 2010 Workshop Council meeting drew approximately a dozen residents, several of who were there to ask Council direct questions. The first question was about the entire scope of the process to hire the new videographer for regular Council meetings, from how and if it was advertised to whether or not this newly hired videographer from Philadelphia had a personal relationship with anyone on Council. Yeadon Community News did not catch the entire give and take on that one, except to hear that the person that was hired did, in fact, have a personal relationship with an unknown member of the Council. Another resident had questions on how things went down at that meeting when the old videographer was ordered to shut down the video and out of the chambers by police after apparently President Ford had found that there was not a quorum present. Yeadon Community News is not sure that anything new came from that exchange, but believes that that resident will be back with more direct questions at the March 18th regular Council meeting. Another resident asked about getting Public Works to start the cleanup of the streets and to help now end the saving of parking spots that now that the snow is gone. On that subject, this reporter saw for himself that they were on the case the very next day, helping rid the streets of any remaining snow. So good for them on that one. The final set of questions revolved around this new earned income tax. A resident asked the newest members of Council to be polled on whether or not they support this new tax that would cost the average households in Yeadon $480 a year more in taxes, and informed them that he had started a petition to repeal this tax. After an uncomfortable silence and a bunch of heads looking around at each other with no talking, interim Borough Manager Paul Jansen took the lead and began to explain that while the newest members of Council were not there to vote for or against it, most of them were involved in the process anyway. So, according to him, they knew about it. But when the resident presented them with specific numbers, no one acted like they were well versed in the subject, or maybe they just weren't willing to go on the record just yet. Either way, Jansen's answer centered around trying to explain that people who pay somewhere else would not pay more, and that seniors were getting, in his words, a substantial reduction in local real estate taxes. To that, the resident responded stating that the average senior would only receive about $110 reduction, and that he did not ask for an appointed member to respond, but instead asked and wanted his elected officials to go on the record for or against. When given the second chance to go on the record, they still said nothing. From there, the meeting went on according to its printed agenda. A status update on the Elm Street project, which would help revitalize a specific portion of Yeadon, was given by Deborah Lamborn, Senior Manager for the Development Community Action Agency of Delaware County, Incorporated. Then the Mayor's report, where Dolores Jones Butler mainly praised the police, Public Works, and the emergency management team. In her words, quote, "They were wonderful during the snow emergencies," unquote. And we agree. Then President Asher Kemp's report, in which he spoke of the great information he and others received during the new government members' orientation event and media, and of his desire to, quote, "want to hear the voice of the residents," unquote. Then interim Borough Manager's report, where Paul Jansen reported the approximate cost of the snow events to be about $70,000 direct and indirect, we believe, and that they are still going through the rounds with the county, state, and federal governments to see what of that can be recouped. He spoke of questions about how the hall in Borough Hall is reserved and approved, and that Council may want to visit that issue. He also told Council that they would have to decide the fate of the big blue spruce in front of Borough Hall, in lieu of the plans for the water garden out there. Then there were the committee reports, of which no one really had anything to report. There was a round of discussion between the mayor and what we believe was Vice President Sandra Thomas, where the mayor did not understand the distinction between the Personnel Committee and the Search Committee. Jeff Cabral, Library Director, also gave his report. He wanted all to know that the library was looking for a website designer and would love to get a Yeadon resident to do it. Additionally, he spoke of several exciting activities happening there, from an 80-plus author from Derby to a book club meeting, then a poetry slam, and on May 18th, Linda Goss, the Philadelphia storyteller, will perform with percussion accompaniments. He also reminded residents who earn under $50,000 that they can get free tax assistance there as well. Yeadon Community News also noted that the library's live homework helpline has gone 24/7 and now includes some much-needed help for those who find themselves among the millions of unemployed around the nation. Yeadon Library patrons can now receive help with resumes, cover letters, and the job search process live online through the Delaware County Library System website, an outstanding resource for those in need of this kind of assistance. After all the reports were gone through, and with the lack of any new business, and there being no request for a final citizen forum, the council adjourned. There was a question just before that on getting heard at the final citizens forum on items that took place during the meeting that may have raised questions from those in attendance. The council simply took that under advisement. However, Yeadon Community News suggests that residents grab a form before the meeting so you can fill it out during the meeting on any topic that you might have a question on, and then you can hand it in right there for that last forum. And that might be a good way to deal with that issue. Yeadon Community News also urges all residents to attend the March 18th meeting to support the repeal of the earned income tax and to sign the repeal petition that you can find at local businesses. Lastly, Yeadon Community News also urges all residents to jump on board the all-in-one recycling program to help generate more income from our trash. It really couldn't be easier. All recyclables into one bin. It's just so easy. Yeadon Community News, your independent source for news and information.